Arsenal 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0 in a really important night for the Gooners. Back-to-back defeats in the Premier League and Champions League left them in a very nervous and very dangerous position of their season completely and utterly unraveling, the title race being over. And they really had to stand up, be counted, show some steel, show some fight in this game at Molineux. All week, absolutely all week, we have seen people write them off, say the season is done, they're going to lose this game, they're not going to be able to fight back. And they stood up tonight and they got those 3 points. That puts them, as you can see, back top of the Premier League table. Yes, City have a game in hand. But as I always say, go back and watch the tapes from 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. A game in hand is not worth as much as the points on the board. Arsenal, of course, go into their next game against Chelsea. Now with a little bit more wind in their sails, a little bit more hope, a little bit more belief, they can put a 4-point gap between them and City before they kick a ball again. They are up against it. It's going to be difficult, but they can't give up. Giving up at this point, for me, is absolutely unacceptable on every single level. And the Arsenal players, they didn't seem to get that memo today. They fought tooth and nail to win this game. And look, I want to give credit to Wolves. Last year, a team that just about stayed up, already on 43 points, a very difficult place to go away from home to. We've seen them have great performances against Man United this year. We've seen them beat Tottenham. We've seen them beat Man City earlier on in the season. And even the games where they've lost at home, they have been well in it. They've had great opportunities. Arsenal, again, I think it's 6, maybe 7 away games on the bounce with a clean sheet. They nullified Wolves, especially in that second half. I think Wolves is XG. Okay, and I know stats are not everything, but their XG in the second half was 0.04, which was even less than it was in the first half at 0.11. I know they hit the post. That was a good opportunity, but really good save from Raya. So Arsenal really had to stand up and make themselves be counted tonight. They really, really did. And that wasn't tonight was against the backdrop of, again, I did the top 6 show, I did Straight Facts. The squad Breakfast Club. I know a lot of you have watched that. If you haven't watched it, scan the QR code on the screen now. Go and support that channel and watch the show that came out today. The vast majority of people, whether it was Arsenal fans we've been talking to or whether it had been rivals, looked at this game as a 100% draw, if not a defeat. There have been so many Gooners in the past 24 to 48 hours that have absolutely written their team off. The season is over. We're going to collapse from this point. There's no point. There's no reason to watch. And I'm glad, just from a sporting perspective, to not see that from Arsenal. Arsenal came out today, and you could see the nervousness in the first half. They had the majority of the ball. They had the ball in dangerous areas. But there wasn't quite the same flow amongst this Arsenal team. It was a little sticky. It was a little rigid. You could see the pressure of the last week had crept up on them. But what was really impressive tonight is they carried on fighting, they carried on pushing, they carried on persevering. And you can't win every game. And sometimes you work, sometimes you fight, sometimes it just doesn't quite come off for you. The goal that opened the scoring tonight from Leandro Trossard, I think, epitomized the performance tonight from Arsenal, which was workmanlike, with a sprinkling of stardust. The way Gabriel Jesus, who I don't think overall had a very good game again, if I'm being absolutely honest, but he lost the ball, then he got the ball, and he carried on fighting, and he knocks it back to Trossard, who hits a wonderful shot into the top corner. And from that point, Arsenal grew into the game. And in the second half, they were moving the ball brilliantly. Some of the one-touch, two-touch football at the edge of the box was amazing. Declan Rice just shut any opportunity down that Wolves tried to create. Wolves threw their substitutes on. They attacked. They went for it. And Arsenal still shut that door. Defensively sound, I thought David Raya had an excellent game today. And as the match went on and went on and went on and went on, Arsenal got stronger and stronger. And I looked at it and thought 1-0 probably doesn't do Arsenal justice in this game when you look at the overarching performance. weren't quite as creative as they would want to be, but as I say, those nerves were there. And then Captain Odegaard added sort of the crowning, the sort of the cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake, and it was done. It was dusted. They get the 3 points. Arsenal can now, to a certain degree, relax until their next game against Chelsea. I think this will give them more confidence going into that Chelsea game. And their job from this point, and some people will laugh at the phrase that I'm about to use because that's the way the world is, but their job now is to put pressure onto Manchester City. I spoke to City fans this afternoon after their FA Cup semi-final win, and they said the same thing. They are rightfully the favourites to win. They're rightfully the best team in the league, but there is an element of tiredness and exhaustion in them. If you saw the performance today, if you saw elements of their game against Real Madrid, their manager keeps talking about how tired they are and how difficult it is. It is not beyond the realms of possibility that they drop some points. And as I stated last week, when every Arsenal fan worth his salt was throwing the season away, saying it was done, writing themselves off, you've got to keep yourself in the race. And I genuinely mean this. As an ex-sportsman myself, I compete for my country. I understand it to a degree. This is a much higher level, though, and I respect that. They didn't get that memo. And they said, I am. And they went out there tonight, and as I say, they fought back. They put that pressure on. They showed some real steel to not just throw the towel in and give up at this point. And they're going to keep themselves alive. And in some respects, that could lead to more heartache because they could keep themselves right in it until the final day, and then it doesn't go their way. And it feels like a double dip disappointment. But that's how pushing through that adversity is what makes you stronger and makes you better. Throwing in the towel now, as many people have suggested, will only make you weaker in the future. You have to push through difficulty, anxiety, frustration, anger. When things you do in life fail, you've got to push through it. You can't just keep throwing the towel in. That isn't how winning is done. So, look, Arsenal are not the favourites to win the league from this point, even though they sit top. But I really felt it demonstrated just wonderful fight, an excellent mentality shown by the team tonight. And it doesn't mean, because I know what some people will say in the comments, that Monterrey, they didn't have great mentality against Aston Villa. I know, and they were criticised for that. But in equal measure, I'm going to praise them tonight because last season when they had those bad results against Liverpool and West Ham and then fell behind, the last 5-6 games of the season, they collapsed and they threw it away. They can't do that again this year. You've got to keep pushing right up until the end. And I think that shows a growth within this team, which I do believe exists. And they go from there. In terms of performances, look, I mentioned there was a few. I thought Gabriel Jesus was pretty poor again today. Kivior really struggled at left back in the first half, improved throughout the course of the game. I was surprised Saka stayed on the pitch so long. Again, I thought that Trossard should have stayed on when Martinelli came onto the pitch, maybe moved Trossard onto the left. But there were some really good performances again. Declan Rice just absolutely out of this world. I thought Saliba had another very, very good game. Ben White strong. Odegaard, like everybody in the first half, a little bit bitty. But he just kept on pushing, kept on working, kept his team together, kept them in shape, led them brilliantly. And he kind of finished the performance off with a goal. I'm now very, very excited about the game against Chelsea. Chelsea today actually played quite well up until the final third. They're going to fancy ending Arsenal's season. Arsenal want to win to really put that pressure upon, of course, Liverpool and Manchester City. That are all, by the way, all three are still in this title race because this title race is 100% alive. Arsenal have kept it alive today. I expect Liverpool to win tomorrow as well to further keep the title race alive. It is very likely that Manchester City win the title from here, but I think it would be disrespectful to fans today, fans of yesteryear, and the history of both Liverpool and Arsenal for either club to throw in the towel at this point, concede defeat, and just literally start their planning for next year. That, for me, is not how champions are built. Whether in the first instance or the second, you need to keep persevering through it. I want to get your views and I want to get your opinions on this in the comment section below. We have some super chats here. The first one says, I wonder how many hate-alongs were ruined today. Probably quite a few. This should have been our midfield from the beginning. Arteta's stubbornness doesn't almost cost us. When you say this midfield, do you mean the midfield that ended the game? Is that what you mean, or the midfield that started the game? I'd love to understand what you mean by that, because the midfield that started the game's got Kai Havertz in it, and I thought he wasn't very good there. You have to specify that for me, my friend. Me on Wednesday, season is over. Today, we are top. You are top today, and that's a fact. And I'd rather be top by 1 point with a team having a game in hand over me rather than not be top at all. Like, anything can happen in football. What's to say that City player then gets sent off in the first 10 minutes against Brighton for a penalty and they score it and Brighton go on to win the game? Imagine if that happens. Okay, it's hypothetical, but imagine it happens. But your players threw in the towel today and lost. Imagine. Crazy logic that's right away. I've said that all week. Important for Arsenal to keep the pressure on Man City. It absolutely is. We can be 5 points clear before City play again. 4 points, unless my maths is terrible. 4 points clear you could be, not 5 points. A rusty win, which was very important. Now we need to have a strong mentality and believe we can do it for the rest of the games. So let's build on this. We'll win because the title race is still on. So come on, you Gooners. It is still on. And I like the fact you're brave enough to admit it, my friend. That's genuinely, it's really, really good to see people do that. And do you know what's interesting about this for me? It was a rusty win, and you will get the detractors of Arsenal that will say, but you scraped it, it wasn't convincing, etc. These are the same people that when you got beat by Aston Villa a week ago, said that at this stage of the season, when it comes to teams in the title race and them winning games, performances are irrelevant, and it's all about the dubs. It's all about the W's. And this is the problem I have with a lot of people in the social media world at the minute and fan content world, is that they speak out of both sides of their mouths far too much. We all change our opinions. You know, we all learn new things and change. But you can't 1 week say it's all about results in a title race and then a week later moan about getting a result. If you do that, it means you're shrouded in an agenda. 6 away clean sheets in a row for Arsenal. I mean, it's just phenomenal. That in itself is something to be very, very proud of if you are a Gooner. And listen, if more of that continues, you know, this just shows what type of team is being built here. It really, really does, because that is no mean feat to be able to do that. I don't know how many teams in Premier League history have done it. I assume Chelsea must have in that brilliant season. Man United have probably done it at some point. But it's a very, very good achievement indeed. It really, really is. Pushing till the end will also help them next season. Listen, of course it will. Of course it will. And I just don't like the idea of people being quitters. Why would you want your team to quit? I've just not understood that logic all week. I'd rather go out on my sword fighting than... I'll give you an example. And it might not be an example that you will get and you will like, but me and my dog were attacked today, like very badly attacked. I was quite fortunate. I had quite thick clothing on. We're out for a walk, and I could hear loads of dogs in the distance, and it didn't sound like they were on leads. They were barking a lot. So I got Rocky and I put him on his lead, and I said, right, we're going to walk around the edge, so that we try and avoid other dogs as best you can, especially if you don't know them or whatever else. And about 50 meters away, I see all these dogs. There was 2 big black German shepherds and then these gun dogs. And there's about 7 or 8 of them in totality. And they saw us and they just started running towards us. Damn, what do I do? Do I run and leave the little puppy? Do I fight? I mean, I'm probably going to get hurt here. I took him off his lead. This poor puppy, right? He's big, but he's a puppy. He just started looking at me and said, what to do? And I just said, get him, right? He doesn't even know what that means. And we had a bit of a run-in with these dogs, like to kick a few. I got my top ripped. Thankfully, they went for my legs, right? And they ripped the whole bottom of these waterproof padded trousers that I have, because me and my dog walk through streams and lakes. I have really thick trousers on. And my dog got bit a few times. I've moved a few away, and the person who had the dogs kind of broke it up, and another dog walker got involved. But I walked off with my dog, and he was all right. He was a bit shaken up. I was like, yeah. We didn't win that fight, right? We got battered by them 6 dogs, but we went down swinging. And that's just, I think, how you got to be in life at times. You've got to go down swinging. If you're going out anyway, you might as well swing. Do you know what I mean? I was getting bit whatever happened. I just thought I'm taking some of these mutts with me as well. And I got one right in the head as well. And listen, I love animals. I never want to hurt them, but I'm going to protect mine always over anybody else's. You got to go down swinging, people. Simple as that. I'm an Arsenal fan. Big up yourself, AMT. Listen, we're going to bring the panel out now to have their say on the show. I'm intrigued to know what they think, what they feel in relation to today's game. And by the way, I'm all right, people. I didn't get nothing bad happened. I have the same energy for Man United, but there's a difference here. I don't feel the same way about Man United as I feel about Arsenal in terms of how good we are at football versus how good they are at football. I can't have the same energy. For instance, it's like, why would I have the same energy towards the potential? Say, for instance, Derek Chisora and Tyson Fury are fighting Alexander Usyk. I can't have the same energy for both because I believe that Tyson Fury has a better chance because he's an exponentially better boxer than Derek Chisora. They've both got a puncher's chance at any point because it's boxing. But you can't have the same energy for every single team, every single athlete, if you feel differently about them in terms of their overarching quality at this particular moment in time. You know, simple as that. What do you mean someone take my dog? I didn't do anything wrong. It's their dogs that had to be put there. Some of you are weird, man. Some of you are proper weird. Terry's always been a swinger. Do you know it's mad that you say that, bruv? Because that's when I used to hang around with your mum. At those clubs. That's what is amazing about it. I just can't believe she told you. I can't believe she told you. I can't believe she told you. It's as simple as that. Listen, everyone, we're bringing out the panel now. We've got man like Dennis. We've got Connor. We've got Sard. We've got Dayo. We've got Matt on here with us now. Gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome to the show. Hope you're all good. And yeah, I've had a mad day. It was my son's birthday. So I've been at a kid's party. I've been attacked by a bunch of dogs. Football's been on. It's been a crazy. I cannot wait to finish. Go home and have a whiskey and then go to bed. Do you know what I'm saying?
You ain't going to bed. You still got Haney versus Garcia. Don't worry. That's
I'll be getting up for that. I'll be getting up. I ain't staying up.
Your day's not over yet.
Yeah. I'll be getting to bed, then getting back up for that 110%. Dennis, talk to me about Arsenal's performance today.
Job done, man. Big bounce back win. Because look, Arsenal's one of the most turbulent clubs right now, man. Like after the weekend, after midweek, a lot of people even calling for the manager's head after losing out the Champions League. So we need the bounce back win. Job done. It's a game that you kind of expect Arsenal to lose as well. A lot of people, given that it was such a negative feel around the camp after what happened in our past two games. I think it helped, given Wolves had a lot of injury issues, but we came in and we did our job today and got a really good victory. And I think it reminded everyone that the title race is still on. A lot of people were saying the title race is over after last week. Guys, it's 2 points, man. That's nothing in the grand scheme of things. Plus, we played twice before City even play. So psychologically, we could be 4 points clear of them before they play on Thursday, which plays a factor. I'm not saying City aren't favourites. 100% they are. But what we don't want to do is the same as last season, which is basically capitulate, throw away games to like Brighton and Forest, which we did last year, and handed City the title. It's still, look, it's not in our hands, but it's still a title race. And as long as we win every game from now to the end of the season, we've got a fighter's chance. It's a knockdown, not a knockout. That's how I see it. So I'm happy that we got the job done today. Got a nice win to bring the confidence back into the camp. And it's always good as well to play first because now it's stress-free watching Liverpool tomorrow. I do think Arsenal and Liverpool, neither out the title, but by losing the games last week, it kind of, in a way, took credit completely out the bank. If you lose any more games now, it's basically over. That was like your lifeline. And I do think if Liverpool lose tomorrow, that basically knocks them out the race, to be completely honest, or even a draw to an extent. So we're still in it. We're still fighting. We still got a chance. I'm really happy with the victory overall, especially players like Trossard and Rice standing up as well in the big moments, because Rice in particular was questioned in midweek for his performance against Bayern Munich, but he stood up to them, was really good in that midfield, proper engine.
100%. As you say, job done. It was what was needed. You had to get yourselves over that line, and you certainly did. Do you echo that, Dayo? Is that how you feel about today?
No, I'm just happy that they won. I mean, from the last 7 games, I don't know if you basically heard me say they just play pragmatic football. I don't care how you win. Score a goal, play defensive, score 2 goals, do what you need to do to get the 3 points at this stage. So, they got the job done. Most importantly, that's the part of it that after about 25, 30 minutes, I was watching the game and I was saying to myself, do they look like they want to score? Of course, they're piling on the pressure, but do they look like they want to score? That's what I was asking myself, and I kept on trying to analyze the game, see, who would step up and score, or if they were going to play like, and they did create a bunch of chances. I mean, 24 shots to Wolves. I think Wolves 5, if I'm not mistaken, and that's good. But between now and the end of the season, all we can ask for is win every game. Go in there, be pragmatic. If you have to waste time, I love what Kiwior did towards the end, where he was wasting time with the throwing, and the referee had to go talk to Odegaard and say, "Listen, I'm not gonna condone that. Burn time if you need to burn time. Tackle." Rice took a yellow card for the team. If he had let that guy run through, that could have been an equalizer. Like, do what you need to do to keep your 3 points. At this stage of the season, I don't want to hear, "Oh, this person looked terrible." Did we win? Yes, we did. Then let's carry it on from there. After the season is over, we'll reevaluate the team and then look at where we need to now. We can then begin to talk about all those people who made the mistakes that they made, even though we won. Say, okay, well, this person needs to leave, this person needs to stay. And let's just focus on winning. That's my thing. Let's just focus on winning, regardless of how it's done.
Do you agree with that, Matt? I know this week's been a really turbulent week. I think, as Dennis has said, there's a lot of people saying the manager should have been sacked on Thursday morning, but you are still in a title race. And were you impressed that your boys, got their heads back down, got the W, move on to the big game against Chelsea now, and you can all kind of relax for a few days?
I think I was more impressed with the work rate rather than the actual performance, because I think performance kind of goes out the window in this game. Like, all we wanted to see was a win, 3 points. That is all we wanted to see. And it's kind of the definition of job well done, really. 2 goals, clean sheet, away from home. They didn't really trouble us, not really. They had under 0.5 XG, I'm pretty sure, so they didn't really trouble us. I mean, I thought it was a good performance in terms of the work rate that they put in. Bro, I want to see Jack Grealish, what he did to Almiron do to Martinelli, where, like, I think he called him out or something like that, and then Almiron just went on a goal-scoring streak of like 10 games. That's what I want to see, what happened to Martinelli, because I don't know what's happened to this guy, man. He's just fading away. And what we saw last season, he was probably our most direct attacker, like in terms of who I thought was probably going to score out of all of our attackers. And he seemed to have lost that fire in him. So I want him to kind of get that back. But I thought my man of the match for that game was probably Raya. Like, I thought he was sensational that game. He did quite well. He made two or three very good saves. Was very calm in collecting the ball. Just got his body in there. It was a good performance.
I hear where you're coming from. Cons, obviously, I know you're someone that the other day we spoke about the manager and that he needs to move on, but you're obviously very respectful about what he's done. Were you impressed with the sort of response tonight by Arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the lineup, I wasn't too happy. I'm not a big fan of Gabriel Jesus. I'm really not, especially up front, maybe on the wing. Havertz in the 8, again, I'm not a big fan of, but it's a 50-50. But at the end of the day, right, we got the job done. 2-0. I'll tell you, all I wanted was a win today. I predicted the 2-0, so we went ahead and got that. Very lucky. The bar saved us once again. It feels like at times the bar's our best friend to not get, Aston Villa, they hit the bar once. I think Sane hit the bar once against Bayern Munich at the home leg. Happened again today. But overall, it was... I've got to be brutal. Listen, we dominated, but it was a snooze fest at times. It was a bit like, come on, we could have done a bit better. But listen, it was 2 goals. It was great. We got the win. That's all I want. And, I agree with the guys as well. All I want is to win and no more. Just keep it simple. Goes through each game, get the win, walk out, and it's as simple as that. Listen, I'd be very, very impressed. I've already said it, right? Listen, if we go ahead and win these next 6 games, I can't say anything wrong. We've gone ahead and we've tried and we've fought and we tried our best. We can't stop. We've done our job against City. We beat them once, we drew. That's the best we can do. We got 4 points out of it. It's better than none. And listen, whatever happens with them, what happens with them. If they lose a game, it's benefited for us. All I want Arsenal to do now for these next 5 games now, is just win them. All I want. Whatever you do, just win them. There were some individuals that I thought could have done a little bit better today. like Gabriel Jesus. Listen, yeah, he got the assist, which is a bit of a weird assist, but I'm not a fan of him. I'd rather, unless we talked about Martinelli, how he has ghosted. He hasn't been great. Matt did bring up a good point. He has been a bit off recently. I personally, listen, I like to think that Trossard's a bit of an impact sub from some of the games I've seen this season. But then again, he can come on in games like this and score goals like that in moments when we need him. So I wouldn't mind maybe Trossard up front and Martinelli on the left instead of Jesus, because I'm just not a fan of Jesus. I'm really not. But I've got to respect it, as I always do. It was a 2-0 win, and that's all I want. Win, clean sheet, respect to Raya. I love Raya. I think he's a great player, great goalkeeper. He's sniffing for that golden glove, and I think rightfully so. He's been one of our best players this season. He's saved us in a lot of moments. And yeah, he's had the odd moment where he slipped away, but what goalkeeper doesn't? We take it, we move on, and I want to see... Watch, I gotta get rinsed for this. I want to see, I don't know, I want to see maybe a little bit more of an impact against Chelsea. Do you know, I think like today it was a very poor Wolves side. It was. They had a lot of injuries. They were missing out on a lot. I just want to see, and listen, we know Chelsea aren't great this season. We know they're not great, but I do want to see maybe just a little bit more of an impact, really take it by the scruff of the neck and hopefully score a bit earlier. Because when it was 1-0 for majority of the game, I was a bit worried. I was like, Wolves could grab this if they want to. They had their little options where they could have gone ahead and scored, but, they're a bit weak. But we got the job done. So listen, I'm not complaining. It was 2-0. I don't want to complain too much. There was individual performances I was really proud of. Odegaard was great today. Declan Rice was great. It was good. Trossard, great goal, especially, and Odegaard as well with the final goal. We take it. We move and bring on Chelsea.
I get that. I want to play devil's advocate for a minute here and throw this to TJ and the rest of the panel. Welcome, Brand, by the way. I generally feel at this stage of the season, results are the most important thing. But if you were to put in, as Connor says, a top-class performance against Chelsea, win, but maybe put 3 goals past them and hurt them, could that not put even more pressure on Man City, seeing you in scintillating form as well as winning?
Yeah, I mean, I think today we were extremely wasteful, and to your point, Terry, like if we're that wasteful against Chelsea, we might have to pay for it, right? So, like, yeah, of course we put in a business-like performance today. It ended up being 2-0, but I thought we were extremely wasteful. I thought we could have been a lot more clinical in the final third, and I think that we're going to have to fix that in order to do what you're talking about, Terry, which is put in a good performance, a 3-0, 4-0 performance at home against Chelsea, and maybe put the onus on Man City to say, yeah, we're not dropping points either, and kind of play chicken with them towards the end of the season. Like that's the biggest, I think, criticism that I have towards the team. I don't necessarily have it towards the manager. I have it towards the players. We have a system that is capable. We've shown is capable of scoring goals, but if the players aren't doing what they need to be doing in scoring those goals, then we're not going to be putting that pressure on them. I mean, we had 35 shots, 9 on target, and a lot of them were just P-rollers and right into Sa's breadbasket, right? So what are we supposed to be doing when we're saying, oh yeah, we're going to put pressure on City when we can't even put pressure on Wolves? We should have been up 4 or 5-0, gentlemen. Like, let's be honest with ourselves here. So if we're going to truly put pressure on, like you're saying, Terry, we have to start finishing those chances that we have the quality in this team to finish.
Do you agree with that, Bran?
I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm whinging, Tell. This is the problem, because everybody calls me a negative fan and, you shouldn't have these opinions. But look, you're right. It's all about results, So when you look at it from that aspect, at this stage of the season, it's all about results, But at the same time, that performance doesn't exactly fill me with confidence that we can go on and win this league and that we will go on and win our remaining fixtures. We've got to be honest now, right? This isn't a Wolves side, that's at full strength. This is an extremely depleted Wolves side. This is a Wolves side with a hell of a lot of injuries, And yeah, okay, it's going to be difficult. We've just gone to, Munich. We've lost our last 2 fixtures. But, I look at them players, especially in the first half, they look so leggy, so tired, so leggy. And I'm not surprised, because a lot of these players have been flogged to death this season. Namely Bukayo Saka, again, played 90 minutes again today. I just don't understand it personally, because again, I wouldn't exactly say he had a great performance. I don't really think there was anybody in particular who had a great performance today. So it's not just him. But you know, I've just had a look at a few stats about Leandro Trossard, right? Because I have a big issue with the fact that once again we've played Bukayo Saka for 90 minutes. Now, you know, it's clear to see that this guy needs a rest. It's clear to see that this guy, you know, is struggling at the moment. So I look at this and think, yeah, okay, keep playing him 90 minutes, Arteta, but this could have a knock-on effect for our season. Because if he continues to perform in the way that he is, you know, we're not getting the best out of him. And we need him right now. He's our best player, so everybody tells us. You know, he's the one who scores the most goals in this Arsenal side. We need him to be a threat. And right now he isn't, you know, and we're playing every 4 days. You know, we've got Chelsea next. And like TJ just said, if we play like that against Chelsea, we will get punished because people will laugh at Chelsea and the position that they're in, etc. They also, you know, should have won the game in the reverse fixture against us. And they're probably playing some of the best football that they've played all season right now, you know, regardless of the fact that they went out the FA Cup today, right? But on the Leandro Trossard thing, right, I had to go and have a look at this. So Trossard has only played 90 minutes for Arsenal 5 times this season, in the entire season, in all competitions. Yeah, 5 times, right? The last time he played 90 minutes in the league was Luton at home on the 3rd of April. Then, before that, it was 105 minutes against Porto in the second leg. Yeah. And then before that, it was Wolves at home in the reverse fixture of this on the 2nd of December. Right? Now, all 5 games that Trossard has played 90 minutes for Arsenal this season, we've won. Right? He's also scored his 9th goal this season in the Premier League, making him the 2nd highest goal scorer for Arsenal this season, right? So I look at this and I think, well, why is it, Mikel, that Trossard cannot play 90 minutes? Why do we have to keep taking this guy off? You know, he got the goal today. Okay, it wasn't spectacular, right? But there's no reason why he couldn't have stayed on the pitch. If you really want to bring Martinelli on, bring him on for Saka. It is very clear and obvious for everyone to see. Bukayo Saka needs to come off the pitch. He needs a rest. Yeah, we need this guy. I'm sick and tired of seeing him play 90 minutes when he's clearly not at it. And that is where I have an issue with the manager. That's where I have an issue with the manager. Again, you look at the midfield area, right? He brought on Thomas Partey today. Cool, that's fine. You know, the guy hasn't played a lot of minutes. Kai Havertz, he decided to play him in midfield again today. We know he's not great there. And look, we got away with it because, again, I wouldn't exactly say he was a great performer again today in that area. But, you know, it's a depleted Wolves side. And people who hadn't watched the game and, you know, maybe look at the scoreline and go, oh, Arsenal won 2-0. They'll probably sit there and think it was easy, comfortable. You know, Arsenal probably created loads and loads of clear-cut chances. That wasn't the case. I don't remember Arsenal actually really working the goalkeeper that much, apart from the 2 goals. And the first goal, if we're being real, it had an element of luck to it. And then the second goal, the only reason we got the second goal really was because, you know, it was in added time. Wolves were trying to open up a little bit, try and go and get that equaliser. They left a lot of space. And then, you know, Odegaard taps it in from a tight angle at the near post. And I don't really look at either of them goals and think, wow, you know, we really had to pick them out. So, like I said, it's good. We got the result. That's all that matters at this stage of the season. But at the same time, that performance don't fill me with confidence. So I've got to be honest.
Terry, a 2-minute rebuttal. Quick thing, 2-minute rebuttal here. Trossard has started 5 games. Trossard has started 5 games. You're right. Trossard's 9 goals have come in every single time where he's been subbed, except for a couple of games where he started. I've gone
That's
to look
not
at
what I said.
No. I'm letting you know.
Hear me out.
Let me finish.
You're twisting what I said. That's not what I said.
I said
Trossard.
has started
No,
90 minutes.
no. That's not what I said.
Okay, go on.
Trossard has completed 90 minutes
Mhm.
5 times.
That's
I
what
never
I'm
said
saying.
about Trossard
I
starting.
know. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Trossard has completed 90 minutes 5 times. He scored his 9th goal, but majority of his goals have come when he has been subbed, is what I'm saying. He's been more of an impact sub for us, which is why probably Mikel keeps bringing him in as a sub. That's all I'm trying to explain. So I'm not saying that your 90 minutes theory is not right, but the truth is, in the 90 minutes that he has played, how many has he scored in, except for Porto and today? The rest of them, it's when he's coming as a sub that he scored. So all I'm saying is, because Mikel has realized the strength of what he does when he comes in, he's probably decided, I'll use him as an impact sub. That's all I'm saying, number one. Number two, the idea that at the end of the season, we saw Man City struggle today with Chelsea. Everybody looks lethargic, tired, 6 more games to go. Teams are tired. People's legs are weak. Injuries are ravaging teams. Teams are winning ugly. We won ugly today somehow. But yet, as fans, instead of us to be happy and say, you know what, we did the job, we did the business. We want to come here and nitpick when it's 6 more games to go. To start talking about, oh, well, the team didn't do well. Yeah, no. Look, at this stage, let's be honest. Even Man City are saying, just give me 1-0 every game and give me my 3 points till the end of the season. Everybody is that ragged. We already know throughout the entire season from watching our team who we want out and who has not served us well. We already know that. At this stage of the season, it's about jeering your team on till the very, very end. It's about sitting there and saying, hey, come on, guys, get your 3 points in the next game.
But you've also got to be honest with yourself, Dayo. Come on, mate. Like, let me ask you this. What you see from Arsenal today, is that enough to beat Chelsea on Wednesday?
That's not the point. What we did against Liverpool, and no, hold on. Let me rebuttal you. We played better than Liverpool in the FA Cup, but they beat us.
Right.
It could go either way. So you could be the best team on the pitch and still lose. You might think it's the performance. This is football, man, Brandon. Let's not sit here and try to paint this picture that just because you played well, it means you're going to win the game. We've seen it happen. No. We even look, if we play the way we played today, like champions, people who want to be champions, find a way to win at the end of the season. That's all I believe in. You find a way to win. This idea that we want to think that it has to look a certain way, they have to play a certain level. City today beat Chelsea 1-0. They didn't look like they were going to score. If you watched it, I did. They didn't look like they were going to score. City were playing balls over they didn't look like City. But somehow, some way, they pulled it out the hat. That's what you want from your team when your team is tired, because they're also a team that has been playing all season. That's what you want from your team. You don't want them giving up. You want a team that will keep up the fight regardless. So whether or not we played Chelsea at the beginning of the season, they were 2-0 up. We looked like we weren't going to score. We fought back in the 2-2 draw. I wasn't happy about the draw, but I was happy about the fight back spirit. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. The fact that these guys just finished playing Bayern and have come here looking as tired as they are. Bukayo Saka is tired. He's still getting balls in as much as he can. Like, what you want from your team is drive. Unless you want to pretend that you want your team to be the best team throughout the entire season, beginning to end. That's some nonsense. That's never going to happen.
No.
There will be times where they're tired, and they're getting us the results. They're getting us the results. Context has to be key when you discuss these things.
And the context
at this time of the season,
part of the context, Dayo, is the fact that we played a Wolves side with so many injuries today, right? So many injuries. I'm not even.
So what were you expecting? What were you expecting?
I just said to everybody here, yeah, I am happy that we got the result. It is all about the results. Doesn't mean you can't be constructively criticized as well.
Brand, I understand the constructive criticism. The one thing I asked the question playing devil's advocate, like, would you prefer to see better performances as well? And I suppose the answer is yes, in a utopian world. I don't know what your prediction was, but I'm seeing people tweet online that I follow who are fuming at the performance. I'm not saying you're fuming, but they're fuming at the performance. These are the same people that said you would lose today because the season's over. So if you're predicting a loss before the game because the season's over, and you win it, I'm not challenging you with this. That was when I would turn around and call BS on people then moaning about the performance when you predicted a defeat because you felt there was no way of winning the game. And I think that's where as an outsider looking at Arsenal fans talk, I find it interesting. And again, I'm not throwing this at you personally. People speaking out of both sides of their mouths. We just need to win, but we won't because we're bottle jobs and it's over. You win a little ugly, and yeah, we won, but that performance don't fill me with confidence. It's almost, it's people are always, I know we all want utopia. I know we all want every performance to be 10 out of 10 and win 3 or 4-0. But I've never watched a title race that's ever gone like that, if I'm being honest with you.
It's not even about that, Tel. It's not even about that. Look, like I said, yeah, the performance don't fill me with confidence, right? Because I don't think that performance today is enough for us to go and beat Chelsea. And the reason why I worry about it is because of how leggy we look. It's not even about the fact that players are not turning up as such. Like, you know, in the last 2 games, we could criticize the players for not turning up. I don't think that's the case. I just think they're so tired. And that ain't going to change, right? Because we're still playing in 4 days' time. We've still got this 4-day fixture run. So it's not like we've got a respite now where we don't play till next weekend. So we might actually be able to get a bit more, you know, of a rest and a bit more fitness into the legs again to go again. And this is why I look at it and say, today we're playing a depleted Wolves side with loads and loads of injuries, and we looked really leggy. Yeah, I don't think.
I get it was that bad though. Like genuinely, was it actually that? Like we were sloppy in front of goal. I agree, but I don't think it was that bad. We didn't concede.
I think there were.
That's the thing.
Praising them for a job done.
When we come up against Tottenham, Manchester United,
does that football beat Tottenham away? Does that football beat Manchester United at Old Trafford? The answer is no.
I think every game is different, bro.
I think every game is different. We're not going to be going up against a depleted Wolves side. We're not going to be going up against a depleted Wolves side every single week through the end of the season. Yeah, we cannot use tired as an excuse. We've put ourselves in this position because we do not have a strong enough bench to rotate in and trust Arteta does not trust the bench of this team. Okay, he doesn't. He's not going to trust ESR to start. He's not going to trust Vieira to start. So we cannot use tired as an excuse for poor performances. We're going to go out there. We're going to get dragged by our ops because, oh yeah, we were tired. Well, that's because we didn't do the business during the transfer windows. Then we went out and we bought players that we are not trusting to go in and do a job. Okay, I was not a fan of the performance today. And the fact that we are glossing over it and saying it's a good victory when we're playing against a team without Neto, without Cunha, without their good players away at Molineux, which I was predicting a 2-1 win. So I'm not disappointed with the result. I'm disappointed with the fact that we did not finish our chances. We did not show that we could rotate in players to do a job. So let's not gloss over the fact that if we play like that at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, we're gonna get turned over, gentlemen.
Can we stop this, right? Can we just honestly?
Dale, no, Dale, hold on. You're gonna gloss over that. I can't wait to hear it.
Guys, this is not a space. Don't shout over each other. Let me control it. We're going to Dayo. It's not spaces here. This is legit. This is the terrace. Dayo, we'll go to you, and then I want to hear what Saad's got to say, and BDA as well. Welcome to the terrace, my friend. Go on, Dayo.
We just agreed that the players are tired, and that's why they probably played the way they played today. We just agreed that they came from a Bayern game, so context is key. They know they're going to Chelsea. Chelsea's coming on Tuesday. This is their job. The fact that we take one game in isolation and use that to judge them as a yardstick, say, oh, if they play the way they played today, what if they play the way they played against Tottenham? Newcastle with the high press and scoring 4 goals in the first half? What if they turn up on Tuesday and play the way they played from January up until our first loss? What if? Why are we taking this one tired game? Like, this is the part that kills me about we take the one thing, we forget everything else that they've done. We look, if you look at January till now, be realistic. They've played better than they have played badly since January. Arsenal has played better in most games that they've played.
The reason people bring up these points is talking about the game coming up there.
I get that. Right. What I'm saying is, when you take today's game and say, well, we all agreed already, the context is the boys were tired, this, but they got the win. Now they know they have to go to Chelsea's coming. Now they know they have to step up the game. Now they know they have to tune up. Now they know that they have to really set up properly. Arteta knows that this is no joke anymore, right? The fact that you were able to get a win tired tells me something. The fact that you were leggy and laggy and tired and tells me something. The fact that you didn't turn up in two games previously, it's the first time the Bayern game, all the noise we're all making, they've never been to the Champions League quarterfinal. So forget that story that you think that even if we pass the quarterfinal, do you think we're going to win in the semi? It was just hope. But we're glad that we made it there. And they got that experience. And the only way to get better is to experience it, know how to lose in it, and know how to step up
Yeah.
on it. And right
You know
now,
what it is as well, yeah.
right now, they've showed me that they have the mentality again.
Yeah, that's
Just
fair.
fight
That's fair
fight
enough.
up until the end. That's all
The
it
re-
is. That's
Dale,
You know
all
what
it
it
the
is?
reason,
There's an
the reason that Brandon
emotional
and
response. Yeah, there's an
No, go
over
on,
emotional
Nathan. And
response right now.
sorry,
no
go on.
worries, no worries.
Yeah, there's an over emotional response right now to this result. Okay, Wolves are weakened. Yeah, we've been playing shit. We've been in bad form. We've had a few downs, but the reality is we've come away with 3 points, right? In a position where traditionally over the last few years, when it's come to this part of the season, when we've had a few bad results, we've continued to crumble. So rather than taking a positive and thinking, all right, let's see what happens next, right? Because at the end of the day, as we saw today, as they alluded to in regards to City, City went and played Chelsea and actually got outplayed for majority parts of that game. And if it wasn't for fortunate finishing, for bad finishing, they wouldn't have won that game. But they found a way to get the result. Today, we didn't play as we should have. Players look knackered. However, we've come away with 3 points and we're still in the title race, right? Where a lot of fans predicted we probably might not be. Our season collapsed at Bayern and it was going to continue over into Wolves. That was a lot of things I was hearing within the fan base. And something, even questions I started to ask with myself was, are we going to follow that up with another collapse? Is it going to be the same old Arsenal that we've seen 2 seasons in a row when things have kind of gone wrong, where injuries have kicked in and bad results have kicked in? Are they going to find a way to bounce back? We've got one response today. So I think in isolation, we just have to take it as despite all the negativity that's kind of gone on and the shit that's gone on in regards to the club and how bad we've been, we've actually stepped up today and shown a little bit of a mentality that we've lacked previously. Now the question remains now is, can we continue that into Chelsea? Will it be the same, or will we see some of the old patterns creeping in that we've seen previously? And in regards to Brandon's comments about Saka never coming off and Trossard, the reality is we've all seen this season that right side, Arteta doesn't trust nobody on that right side bar Saka. Martinelli, Trossard, none of them play that right side. He's got no faith with any contributions coming in on that right side. As bad as Saka's been performance-wise at times, we've praised the fact that he's managed to pick up GNA, and unfortunately, that has resulted in him being run to the ground. I'm not happy with that. I would rather have players within the squad that we can call on. The reality is for one reason or another, Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, who we all, I'm sure we all think are not at the level, are the backup players. And until we get better, the manager like us, if they were to come in, doesn't trust them. Now, I know people are going to turn around and be like, well, he's decided to keep the squad. But we also have to factor in this. We've had to rebuild this squad from head to toe, right? So there's only so many transfers you can make in one window. I can hear people saying there's only so many gaps you can address. You can shake your head at you want, but we've only seen Chelsea address all gaps in one window. And how's that gone for them? How many players can you sign year in, year out, especially when you want quality? Because what happens, right, is I'll give you an example. Zinchenko. Everybody is talking about how now they want Zinchenko removed from the squad, right? We want to upgrade on him. If you make short-term signings, you're going to have to keep on upgrading within 1 or 2 seasons on those short-term signings. The same with Jesus. That's a player that's been widely regarded within the fan base as someone that, we might need to move on from. So the reality is we're talking about we want to spend and upgrade and bring in quality into this first team. However, we're also talking about, we could get rid of these backup players. But that's how can you address all those issues with real quality? It just doesn't add up, right?
See, this is where my problem lies, because there's always an excuse every time. Yeah, there's always an excuse. I hear what you're saying, Nathan, right? I get parts of it. But what I don't get is how you come out on this defence wagon for the manager again, right? Let's not forget we spent £65 million on Kai Havertz, who, okay, he's done okay. Yeah, he's done okay. But let's be real. We all expected him to start in midfield. We've had to play him up front to get anything out of him, right? So you're telling me that £65 million couldn't have been better spent elsewhere? And this is where the issue lies, my friend, right? Because we all know, and we've all been saying this for the past 2 years, not just 1, 2 years, yeah? We've all been saying Bukayo Saka needs adequate competition. We still haven't gone out and addressed that. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the manager don't trust anybody else bar Saka. But let me tell you this, my friend. Bukayo Saka is so heavily relied on, and you can see that by the stats, by the GA, that everybody, raves about, and that we need him at this stage of the season. We need him for these last 5 games. The performances that I've seen for the past 3 weeks from Bukayo Saka tells me not just that he's not, he's had a dip in form, but he is leggy as oat. He is so tired, this guy, because he's been flogged to death, that I'm telling you now, we're not going to see the same level of Bukayo Saka that we are used to, the top level of Bukayo Saka for the remainder of this season, because he ain't going to get a rest. Today was a prime opportunity for him to keep Trossard on the pitch because he's scored. Bring Martinelli on and take Saka off.
But the scoreline was still 1-0, right? So it was still a precarious scoreline, right? And when we're talking about Havertz, for instance, which I agree with, I'm not sitting here talking about the money's been perfectly spent. That's not the argument here being said. However, we're looking at, even if we did sign, say, a right winger for Saka, we'd still be talking, we haven't got nobody who can play up front. We've only got Jesus and Nketiah. There'd still be gaps in the squad. The argument of what I'm saying remains the same, right? I'm not talking about the allocation of funds or misallocation of funds in this instance, because you can say, Havertz is perhaps misallocation, and I couldn't argue with that. But I'm just saying to you, regardless, right? We spent 590 million pounds, right? How many quality, and I'm talking about quality players, can you spend with that and addressing all the gaps in the squad? It takes a serious amount of time. It's the reason why, even though I don't want them players at the club, in the likes of Eddie, Reece, I could understand why they were signed on until you can get better, because there's no point in signing a short-term player for now and then in a season's time trying to replace him. And then we've got the likes of Cedric and all these players that have held on to contract.
The thing is, it's not just 590 million pounds. Not when you factor in wages as well. Kai Havertz is our top earner.
Why are you so mad about Kai Havertz? Has he been terrible this season?
No, I'm not even saying that, Dayo.
No. So here's the question. Though. He hasn't been terrible this season. Nobody was happy with his signing from Arteta. Of course, I didn't like Kai Havertz signing, but he's proved me different. The same way Granit Xhaka proved me different. I was wondering why Arteta wanted to keep him one more season. I was like, I don't want this guy in my club. I want him out. But he balled out in his last season. The same way. No, hold on. So here's my thing. See, the same way with the Ramsdale and Raya thing, I was upset about it. I didn't like the idea. But he's proved me wrong. He's got it right sometimes. He's got it wrong sometimes. The bottom line is, a winning team or a team that wants to be winners. Let me rephrase that. A team that wants to be winners has to find a way to play whoever is put in front of them, however they need to win, and get it over the line. Sometimes performances. I would rather an ugly win than a beautiful game of football and you lose, like we did against Liverpool in the FA Cup. I would rather an ugly win. And if you want to address, just like what Nathan said, addressing the issues, a lot of the players who are like Eddie Nketiah came through the academy, Bukayo Saka came through the academy. These are players that is either we get full profit on them if we sell them, which of course at that time, how much were they worth? Let's talk about it. How much were they worth?
Yeah,
at that time. Like if you sold them, you weren't making any money off them.
Yeah, guys, I want to kind of end this segment because there's obviously a few people I want to speak to. There's a lot of super chats to get through as well. I think there's a really good debate. I think if we keep going, it will just continue to go around in that same circle. I think people have had their say on it. Yeah. Sard, I don't know, a lot of the game has been spoken about, but do you think Arsenal will turn up in the next game against Chelsea? Do you think you'll deliver and win that game?
Listen, we're at home. I think the home record against Chelsea definitely favors us. And I think, yes, this performance was kind of lethargic in the midfield and the attack. But to be honest, if the players are holding back and they're trying to reserve that energy for that game, because at this point in the season, you have to find the balance in between playing well enough to win the game, but also to reserve some energy for the next game, because we're playing every 3 days, every 4 days. So you have to find that perfect balance between reserving the energy and playing well enough to win the game. I think today they definitely played. Today I think they definitely played to win the game, but obviously it was a bit lethargic. I think you guys are expecting a bit more of a better performance. You're expecting them to go out there and knock these chances off. I think, listen, coming out from that result against Bayern Munich, oftentimes your league form doesn't translate into the Champions League, but your Champions League form definitely translates back into the league 100%. We've seen that from many years that we were in the Champions League, where we'd lose a game and we go on a little losing streak or 2 or 3 or 4 games. But Listen, they've come back. Wolves is a very difficult place to go. I know they haven't got their full team, but it's still a difficult place to go. I think Gary O'Neill was a very good manager, who sets up his team very well defensively and going forward. They're very good at getting out the press. And listen, we managed to get the win over them, even though they look tired as hell out there. About Chelsea, I think going into that game, I definitely need to see Partey starting that game. I think we need him to bolster that midfield and really give them some energy. And I've been asking for this guy to start. I would have started him today, to be honest, against Wolves, but obviously we went with Havertz in the midfield. I think Havertz is perfect in that false nine position. I think he's just what you need in that false nine position. Don't put him in the midfield for me, because it just doesn't have the same energy in the midfield. But I think we can get the win against Chelsea. Listen, we're going out there. We're a team that's trying to get back into form. I think this will give the players the boost that they needed, because after Bayern Munich, their heads were down, and obviously they've just been kicked out of the Champions League. Obviously, not the best feeling for them, and they definitely could have won that game against Bayern Munich. But they managed to put their head up and say, you know what? Now we're not going down like that. We're keeping going forward, and we're gonna win this game. And they definitely won the game. And listen, everybody who's saying Partey's not fit, Partey's fit. I see this guy in training. He's fit. I see him in games when he comes on. He's fit. Yes, he might make an odd pass, but nobody's perfect, man. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes wrong passes. And also, sorry, just to say, that Ødegaard goal was outstanding. The fact that he done it from that angle is actually nuts. Like, I've actually gone back and looked at the angle of that goal. It's actually crazy, bro. I think he's like right in line with the goal and he goes into the net, bro. I don't know how the hell Ødegaard did that, but listen, my skipper, man. What a guy, man. Honestly, to get that goal, man.
Can I add on to that as well? Like, I know people say that the Arsenal players and stuff are tired. Bro, the fans right now, we all look tired as well. Like, we need to liven up. There's 5 games left in the season. Bro, we're 1 point top of the table right now. People saying the fans look deflated. Look, people will say don't criticize the team when you lose. I'm not saying that at all. I think you're fair to say whatever you want, win or lose. But then you venture into the point where you're just bashing the team. Like, it's a big win. Not every win is going to be comfortable. I appreciate that we probably should have scored more goals today. But I actually thought I didn't think it was a bad performance whatsoever. We barely let anything at our goal, apart from Kivior making a silly mistake. Ryan made maybe one save all game. And we had chance after chance. We probably should have done more. P rolled a lot of them. But I don't think it was a bad game whatsoever. I thought we were quite decent. And everyone's deflated. Like,
it's
not
not
the
the
players
fact
are
that-
looking leggy. We're looking leggy. We ain't even played any minutes.
It's not even the. I wouldn't even say we're
Driving up,
leggy.
believe
I'd
the
say
team.
it's not even the fact we're leggy. I'd say people like, I feel like I have the same. I don't know about any other guys, but I think like I'm kind of comparing what Brandon and TJ said. I like to say we're cautious. We have seen this many a years that we're on a high. Every Arsenal fan's on a high. Before you know it, like I saw comments. There was a super chat earlier. Like there was, and it was spot on. Today we're winning the league. It's a great feeling. Then bang on Wednesday, it's dropping. Bang, we're out of it again. If we lose to Chelsea, so I like to say as myself, can't speak for any other guys. I'm cautious. That's why maybe I look laggy. I don't know about the other guys. I'm more cautious because I know what this club can do to a fan. I know what they can do. They can have you on a high. You're buzzing. You're feeling great, and then they can have you bottom of the pile before you know it. So I'm cautious. And I was going to say earlier with what Brandon said, and I can agree with. I don't think we're picking out negatives here. We're not trying to pick out negatives for the sake of it. We're looking at a sense of what's happening right now. I don't care what we've done against, Burnley or all these teams that we absolutely smashed, and we've played great football earlier on in the season to get us in this point now. We're looking at how the team looks now in this game. This team isn't going to copy and paste how they looked in September and when it's a new season. How are they looking now? Going against a Chelsea team who, listen, they got the 1-0 loss. They went toe-to-toe with City. I thought they'd done an all right job. Just couldn't get a goal. 6-0 against Everton. They're on a decent run of form. And listen, they're not great. Chelsea aren't great this season. They're not. We should be beating them. But I think taking points out of you can't just not look at it. If you can't take constructive criticism, I don't get how you get on in life. You can't go on in life looking for positives left, right, and centre. You have to take a form of constructive criticism because we weren't perfect today. We weren't. It's as simple as that. No, it's very rare when you can pick out a performance where a team is spot on, 100% perfect. Very, very rare.
But are
So I think
City,
it's
are
not
City
different.
ever, are City ever perfect? Are City ever perfect in the latter end of the season?
No,
They're
well,
always
yeah,
getting,
Let's
they're
not.
always
let-
getting,
I-
they
this-
always
I
get,
love
no,
that
no,
you
but they're
hold
always
that
getting.
in there.
No, but hold on. All I want to
Go on.
say is, sorry, all I want to say, Tal, is that City are always getting a 1-0 here, a 1-0 there. They don't look to their full pomp and playing how they do, like silky football, passing left, passing right, and
Actually,
getting
Can I
goals.
hold on,
answer this?
They don't.
Yeah, guys,
Sorry,
it's a good point, guys. I want to go to
Sorry.
BDA. Sorry, my dyslexia is killing me with that. What do you want to say, brother?
Nah, I think we just need to just relax a little bit and take a game at a time. If we just take it one game at a time, then you don't want to get too high or too low after every result. So right now, yeah, the performance might not have been the best, but we won 2-0, clean sheet. We move on to the next game. And hopefully the players, they know us as fans, this is a game we cannot lose to Chelsea. There's no way we can lose to Chelsea. This is gonna hurt us too much. So the players, they need to just go out there and give it 100% and get the W.
Also off the back of that, yeah.
Can I
don't
ask a
think we should
question?
be
Can I ask you a
it's not
question?
just
I want to ask
high
a
league,
question.
bro.
I feel
Yeah,
like
of course.
a lot of people,
Sorry,
like
what?
a lot of people, right?
Sorry,
they do
Dennis.
have
Dennis, I'll
this
come to you in a
bullshit stuff.
second. Dennis, I'll come to you in a second. What question do you want to ask TJ?
No, I want to ask the guys because look, it was a mediocre performance by my standards, in my opinion, by Arsenal standards. Do you guys think Mikel Arteta is going back into the locker room after that match and saying, "Yeah, good job, guys, we got the dub"? I don't think he is. I think he's going to be he's going to be criticizing some of these players for the way they performed, for the fact that we weren't finishing a lot of these chances that we should have been finishing. We had we had not 35 shots, 9 on target, guys. Like, it's not good. It's not good enough going forward, in my opinion. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you guys could say relax or whatever, but the performances are not good enough to get us in my opinion, through the rest of the season that we have to win every game in. So
It's
do you guys
tired
think
legs,
that? What do you guys
Broski.
think Arteta's? I guess my question is,
Yeah,
what do you
exactly.
guys think Arteta's reaction to this match is? Positive or
Bro, you
negative?
complain, you
I
say
think
your stuff
Arteta
the
would
training
be,
game after. You
for
don't
me,
start bashing the team when they win in the locker room afterwards. You
I'm not
fix that
saying that he's
stuff on the
bashing him.
training
I'm
ground
just saying
afterwards.
that he is going to have some things he needs to fix. Is that a fair thing? Is that a fair
Of
statement?
course, everyone's got stuff to fix in
Okay,
the
that's
training
all I'm
ground the
saying.
day after.
Like,
But you said the season game's over, he's going to start
you
bashing
guys
the team.
saying, "Oh yeah,
and
2-0 win on to the next
Can I
one."
just
No, it's
jump
not
in?
good enough, guys. It's
Can
not
I
good
jump in here? There's two things I want to say. Firstly, people often accuse me of creating this hub of hyper positivity around Arsenal, and I always laugh when I'm accused of that, because I believe that the panels that come on the football terrace are the most diverse of opinion when it comes to every single member of the top 6 club. You just look at this panel now, and the differences of opinion are genuinely amazing. And every time one of you speaks, right, you've got a different view. There's a different group of people in the comments, and Terry, kick them off. I don't like this person. Then the next person talks and they say they're great, and another lot come in. I love it, right? That's what we're here for. What I do find interesting as an outsider looking in, I agree with your point, TJ, 100%. The manager is going to criticize and nitpick certain areas. But I think he's also going to be smiling because they won. And I feel like what I'm seeing on here today is everyone that said I weren't happy with the performance, there's barely a smile, and you just won a football match. Especially you, Brandon. You got the beard and everything now, looking like a geezer. You ain't smiling.
Let me just add to this. Ted, because Sard came up with the point, right, about Man City at this stage of the season not always being perfect, scraping wins, etc., right? When I see a leggy performance like today, this is where I worry, right? Because the difference between Arsenal and Manchester City is Man City have individuals with star quality that can give them individual moments of brilliance, yeah? Arsenal don't have that, yeah? We see that against Bayern Munich. We don't have individual brilliance that can dig us out of a mess, right? The only player with a little bit of individual brilliance who could dig us out is Bukayo Saka. And if Bukayo Saka is not performing at the level we know he can do because of legginess, and the manager's still keeping him on for 90 minutes, that is the point that I am making, right? About us being leggy. The only reason we're in this position where we are is because we do it as a team, yeah? We share goals around the pitch as a team, yeah? Everything that Arsenal is built on under Mikel Arteta is team-based. We don't really have individuals that can come up with the goods. That's the
Brandon,
diff-
would you not say Erdegaard is a player that can do something?
He can, but how
nothing.
often?
Was it Trossard's
Do you
goal?
know what I mean?
But wouldn't you say just
I know it's
just
lucky.
to
That's a good goal. Will.
He's right. Look at that. One point, bang, they all come in at one point.
Yeah, but just to rebuttal that, yeah, in terms of you're talking about moments, right? For me, moments is more of a Champions League, right? When you look at the Champions League, it's a competition where you would need more moments players. What we've seen is to be in this for 2 seasons in a row, right? Because you're saying we've got no moments players. If we had no moments players, if the collective in the league is about doing is the grind, right? It's doing it week in, week out. That's what you need your whole squad for. We see it in City. It wasn't, the superstar player like KDB that year in, year out took them to that title. Sometimes one player, you'd have Gundogan coming, you'd have Mahrez coming, you'd have a collective, right? It was about the team. So when it comes to the league, right? Hold on. When it comes to the league, it's about the collective. And we've gone here and we've won today, right? And I grew up on seeing United play.
You're missing the point completely, my
games where we used to play pretty football under Arsene Wenger, right?
No, I don't know if he's missing the point. I think the point you both made holds a lot of water. I really do. I want to try. Staffy's joining us. I want to try and get to some of these super chats as well. I don't want to disrespect the viewers, people. Please make sure like buttons are being hit, by the way, and you're subscribing. Really do appreciate it massively. This here says, this one was an interesting one. Where's it gone? I've lost it. It says, and I quote, where's it gone? Damn it, man. We won after a bad patch. Be happy. Isn't this not what we want from a Champions run? Wolves away is not an easy game. Relax. 100%. Thank you, Andy. Jeffrey.
3 years ago as well. 3 years ago, yeah. We were sitting in 8th place every game. Guys saying they're cautious. Be excited, man. Win a title race.
I swear to God, if we lose this league, you're going to have the worst come down of your life.
I'm tired. Be excited for it. I'm not saying get over.
You're going to have the worst come down if we lose this league. You're going to have the worst come down of your life. Real talk.
Bro, trust me.
Hang on, Cons. That's a question though. What does that mean though? So when you say it's going to be, are you saying convince yourself it isn't happening, so there's no come down, or enjoy the ride?
That's the thing, and it's going to suck. I get so much criticism for it, right? But because I know what this team is like, it's shit. I know it's such a shit mindset to have, right? But it's because I know what this team's like. Last summer, I was barely living. Real talk, I was barely living. So
I need more hobbies.
Bro, I will say this. Sorry, go on. I will say this though. If we go ahead and win all our next 5 games, I'll respect it. I'll say, you know what, fair play. We went out on a high. If we go ahead and, really just let it go, I'm going to be annoyed. And it's going to be a bit of a...
I understand that. And if you barely live through the summer after not winning football, I need to say this to you. I mean, with respect, Cons, you need a woman. You need a real good woman, bro. If you're going through the whole summer stressed, come on.
Oh, no, it's not
nice
that.
lady.
I'm literally
or man, whatever your preference. Come on, Cons. Do you know what
I
I mean?
understand why fans wouldn't feel that way, though, Tel. We've seen Arsenal under Arteta for 3 years.
Do you know what it is? Again, I'm on the outside looking in. I think what's really interesting is Man United many times didn't win league titles in my life, but we also won quite a lot. I was always disappointed. But if I knew, because I did under every Fergie season, I believe the next year we'd go again, it didn't ruin my life. It didn't stop me from being confident the next year. Now, I know you've not got over the line yet, but do any Arsenal fans truly believe that you're not going to spend money this summer and that you're not going to be in the title race again next year? I do think that as an outsider looking in, I think Arsenal are in a place where, like other than Liverpool and City, every year you think, Chelsea are going to keep getting better and better. They don't. United will keep getting better. They don't. Spurs will keep getting better. They don't. I think Arsenal have broken that mold and you're in that title race space. So I do get the disappointment because we've all been there. But the way some of you are acting as if it's the end of The Sopranos and that's it, and this is never coming again. And that is what I think is over the top because when you bottled top 4, they said you'd never make top 4 the year later. When you bottled the title, they said you'll never be in a title race for years to come, and you have been. That should stop you feeling the level of disappointment that makes Con sit in his bedroom all summer and cry. Twilight New Moon? Twilight New Moon when Edward leaves her and she's in the bedroom crying for like a year and the seasons go around.
I missed that one.
Barely living is crazy, bro.
That's crazy. Tell. 90% of the season, I'm the only Arsenal out of all my group of mates. I got bantered to fuck last summer.
I get you.
Bro,
was
do you guys
bad.
only
I do
smile
get
after
you.
game 38? Is that the only time you smile? Like when after the title's done, then you'll
I
smile.
smile when we win trophies.
Smiling
I
go
smile
along,
when
man.
we win
Excited.
trophies.
Come on, it's crazy.
It's
Listen,
the same.
I
Football's
smile
the
when we
same.
win
I
trophies.
love this conversation. It's great. Let me get through some more of these super chats. This year says, I do not deny sometimes Arsenal shit their bed, but Arsenal fans shit their bed. Have a teeny bit of embarrassing. Assess at the end of the season. I hear what you're saying there, Dal. Where is that guy called Ches, the Chelsea fan, even though he has got no chest? After his team crashed out of their against a tired Man City. Big up Dayo. You be Igbon. Is that a Nigerian word? I don't know. Maybe. Oh, hey, 1610. What's going on, brother? He'll say that's an old joke. It's not an old joke to the rest of us. We've only just seen that clip. It's the silence of both of them. Both the ladies just silent the whole time. I felt so bad for him. Zero chat. But did people watch a different game? Arsenal were excellent, very comfortable. 2-horse race now between. Don't write your Liverpool out of this. You Liverpool fans are trying to really play this down so you don't get any smoke. You're still in the title race as well.
He's right. Arsenal was 16 out of 10 today.
Brandon. Brandon, hang on. That means he was actually saying the girls are ugly, based on your logic, and they weren't. They weren't. Especially Jan. Brandon, with all due respect, we lost this Wolves game. If it was last season, we passed the test. I would save it if and when we lost our next game.
Everybody's acting like I've come out here and gone,
Save,
oh my God.
Save your rants, Brandon, for when you lose. Even when beating Wolves away, this dude called Brandon is still negative and finding fault in the win. Please find peace and stop whining, dude.
Oh, bored of these now. Everybody's acting like I've come out here and gone, oh my God, what a shit performance.
You kind of did, bruv. You kind of did. You kind
I
of
just
did.
said that because of how leggy we looked, I'm worried that we're not going to go on and win our 5 games.
I went to a funeral 3 weeks ago. And honestly, I was at this funeral 3 weeks ago, and it was more positive than your analysis, brother.
Okay. We'll see at the end of the season,
It's a celebration of life, Terry. It's a celebration of life. You got to put it positive.
No, that's not how we do it in England, bro. In England, they are morbid as hell, bro. They are nasty. Honestly, funerals are the worst. I've been to like funerals of from other cultures. They're fun. Some of them are actually parties. In England, it's like, no, you turn up and you be depressed all day. It's not nice. Brandon, take it easy with the negativity. A depleted Wolves versus an energy and emotionally depleted Arsenal side. A very competitive game. Every 3 days is not easy. Thank you, Victor. There are no trophies for best performing team. A win, and you can only beat what is in front of you. What matters at this stage is to win. Doesn't matter how you get it. Thank you, Femi. Appreciate that, brother. Do you know for a fact Arsenal will play like that every game?
Nobody knows for a fact that Arsenal will play like this for the rest of the season. We could end up all of a sudden energetic Arsenal against Chelsea again. But let's be real, yeah. When you look at the last 3 games, have you seen an energetic Arsenal? No, you haven't.
No.
Why is that?
You are right there. Both Brandon and Dayo are correct in their point of view, because we just care about the 3 points regardless of the performance at this stage. Each game is treated in on its own. Thank you, JJ. I agree. I think they both made really good points. I agree with Arsenal have been leggy, but man, support your team. This negativity is the same with walking out versus Villa. You contribute to the energy as fans. So TJ, Brandon, Cons, you are hurting your team, according to this super chat. Not my opinion.
God forbid if there was God forbid if any of these guys take constructive criticism, because they must. Must be.
God forbid.
If you listen to some of these guys in the chat, you'd think we would have won 6. It looked like we won 6-0 today. Like we didn't. It's okay to have some criticism and move on. We got the
way these super chats make it out.
Terrace, listen, Terrace viewers, you're gonna have that. Let us know in the comments.
I love.
It comes League Gunner culturists. Left there, the League Gunner.
We're League Gunner cultists, so League Gunner University.
Is that what it is? I do say, I will say this. My community is the panel plus the audience, best in the world. There's no better. If you predict 2-1, you predict us to perform worse than we did. If you didn't concede, and now you complain about the result. Make it make sense, TJ. Yeah, it's true. You predicted 2-1 and got 2-0. Ah, it's better than you thought.
Yeah.
But I get it.
So
But I get what you
so-
mean about it. Yeah, I hear
You know
you.
what? Like, look, it's sometimes football games. Like, if you're just watching the scoreboard while you're watching a football match, like, I'm sorry, you need to educate yourself a little bit more. And I know I get called a dumb yank in some of these chats, and that's fine. But if you're just watching the scoreboard and not watching the performance, you're not getting the full package from the game. I'm sorry to say it.
I agree. I get you there, mate. I do. I think that's a very, very fair point. I agree with Dayo. What if Arsenal turn up with high tempo and good performance against Wolves and end up being leggy against Chelsea and lose? What would you guys say? Well, I think that's part of it. If they turn up and they're brilliant against Chelsea, then like some of these guys won't turn up to the show. Like, no, they will. They'll be here. They'll be here. It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm having fun with it. Jason here says, today was a banana skin. Most folks predicted a draw or close victory. We get a clean sheet, fighting for our lives. Some Arsenal fans are entitled, is what Jason believes. Thank you, Jason. That was a professional performance. Can't see why anyone is complaining. Do that 5 more times, and Arsenal have a great chance of winning the title. Fair point. Chike here, Chike Autos LLC.
Up GK, man.
Business, you know, got his business address
He's
out
a
here.
G, bro. He's a
You are
G.
some of these bum Arsenal fans talking about the beautiful game. Who cares? I just want to win. I don't want the beautiful game. Beautiful game takes us nowhere. If you play crap and get a win, that's enough. Come on, you gooners. Mr. Mad Hatter says, we won the effing game. Save it. We are going to have so much time to talk about this crap at the end of the season. I do also get that point as well, to be fair. It's just this, yeah, I get it. Arsenal's defense was on point, 0.14 XG against. Why are you negative? Some of these Arsenal fans are so depressing. I like it. So I don't.
To be fair, Terry, especially us younger fans, we're used to it. Like, I've never seen my team win the title, bro. Like, I was born in 2002. I was 2 years old when we last won it. I hear it.
You're all baby.
I've got to
All of you are young on here. All of you are really young, aren't you? Other than Brandon, you're a little bit older, aren't you? No, because I know you've got 17 kids, but you're not that young old, are you?
28, Tel. 28.
Yeah. Oh no, you are quite old. No, he hasn't got 17 kids. How many babies you got?
3.
3, same as me. Yeah. I mean, I'm just exaggerating. It's just you look younger than me. I look like an old fart. Do you know what I mean? You still look. Now you got the beard though. You do look a little bit older. I'm confused. 24 shots, 9 shots on target. I think that means limited them to 1 real chance. This was a solid performance. They were lethargic but never in danger. Thank you, Jeffrey. Chike's back again. He says, screw the beautiful game. I just want to win. I was 19 years old when Arsenal won a trophy. Now I'm almost bloody hell, you're old like me, mate. Nearly 40. I want to win. That's it. Come on, you gooners. Screw for the possession game. Possession game has got us nowhere. Victor also says, Connor, you are being cautious. It's like asking a player who scores goals not to celebrate because his team might still end up losing the game. Being cautious doesn't mean you shouldn't enjoy the present win.
I didn't say I wasn't enjoying the win. I just said I'm cautious about the season ending because I've learned many a
Smile
time.
through the stress, bro. Smile through the stress.
Definitely.
I can't wait to win the league.
Connor,
I love it.
You better listen to how. You've got to listen to how.
Hello. Every time he says that,
The way you celebrate, Connor. How dare you?
No, but Connor doesn't. No, because that's we won't advocate that. But Connor isn't worried about the actual football. He's worried about how he's going to feel at the end of the season. How bad his summer's going to be.
No, this is the problem I've got. Right, I've got Arsenal possibly bottling the league, and I've got England possibly bottling the Euros.
Oh, that's happening. England will always listen. I'm a lot older than all of you. England will always let you down. Just always let that be your mantra. But it's always coming home as well. It's hard to know the balance. Connor is a proper. Is proper damage worse than Colin Firth in FIFA? You are damaged. You're broken. We are in championship rounds, people. Everyone hurting, but just win. Our fan base is fickle right now. Only wins matter, no matter how we just win. Arteta's new contract is the most important thing. I don't think it is right now. It really isn't.
About that, actually, I saw on Twitter go around. People say, like, would you rather keep Bukayo Saka or would you rather win the Champions League? And people saying they'd rather keep Bukayo Saka. It just made me laugh because the whole objective of football is to win trophies. Yet you lot would rather keep a player than win a trophy. When a player contributes to win the trophy. Like, stuff like that just sums up our fan base sometimes when I heard things like that.
Yeah, that stuff, that is weird. That is weird. when we wanted to be in the title race, what was your expectation? You're going to have these ups and downs. You thought it was rainbows and sunshine. Yeah, being in title races can sometimes be more stressful than being like mid-table. It genuinely can. It's weird. We won, yes, but we need the game where the fans aren't on edge. Put one. I mean, and that's a really good point, Robert. And I think if you would, that's what I said. If you smash Chelsea on Tuesday, I think there'll be a very, very different reaction indeed. I want to go to Staffy, who's also like me. He's like a rival to this. What you here to say, bro, before the end of the show?
I was about to go out. Something Connor needs to do. Because he needs to do that a little bit more. But I swear, I just took my shoes off, went back inside. I was like, let me just get a few words out before I go. I can't believe the energy that I'm listening to on the terrace today after a win. It's absolutely insane to me. You guys are back on top of the league. Yes, I understand you have a game in hand, but you're first. Brendan, don't shake your head yet. You don't know what I'm about to say, Brendan. You don't know what I'm about to say. You guys went back on top. Now the pressure is back on City. Now they need to deliver and they need to beat Brighton. I believe on Thursday they play Brighton. So they need to beat them for them to go back on top. Okay? So right now, you guys are doing what you're expected to do or what you should be doing, which is winning games. Last year, you guys played pretty football all the season, and when it mattered the most, you didn't deliver. I didn't hear any of you guys complaining last season when you battled the league about the performances. You were complaining about not getting the results. This stage of the season, this is when you need results. Pretty football and sustainable football, I get that. But that's earlier in the season. That's the criticism that I had of my team. I said early in the season, we were getting results, but not performances. It's not sustainable. You could sustain what you're doing right now towards the end of, until the end of the season, because you have about what, 5 to 6 games left. You don't need to play pretty football right now. This is not about, because I heard TJ say that. He said that the way people talk is like we won 6-0. TJ, newsflash, you don't need to win 6-0 to win the league. You just need to win every game from now until the end of the season 1-0. Guess who today had a bad performance but won the game? Manchester City. I listened to what Pep said. I listened to what all the Man City fans said. I understand it's a different competition, but no one said, I'm worried about the fatigue. I'm worried about the way Pep is rotating. Bernardo looked exhausted. No Haaland today. This and that. No one cared about that, bro. No one cared about that because right now it's all about getting results. I'm not saying get giddy and think like you had the best performance in the world, but really when I was looking at the metrics and like, bro, you really did dominate Wolves on everything. You had like 24 shots and you had like 9 shots on target. You limited them. You had a clean sheet. Take it from me, guys. Take it from Terry. Terry's obviously seen it more than me. I've seen my team go into title races and win it without playing good football because towards the end, we didn't care if we won every game 1-0 or if we won every game 3-0. That's what you should be looking at right now. You and City, just both of you guys, just got knocked out of the Champions League about 3-4 days ago. They responded with a result, and you guys responded with a result. Historically, we banter you guys for when it goes bad, it goes to shit. You guys never know how to answer back after losing a game, especially getting knocked out of the Champions League, because we all know how emotional you guys were to win a Champions League because you've never won a Champions League. For these players to carry themselves into the next game away to Wolves, Wolves is no easy team. Some people have struggled against Wolves this season. So to go to the Molineux and win 2-0 in the way that you did and leave with a clean sheet, and now you put the pressure back on the 2 other teams, City and Liverpool, this is what you should be looking at. Everything else that you guys are saying, listen, I hear it 100%, but wait till the summer. Any issues with your bench, any issues with your rotation, any issues with any position that you feel like you need backing in the summer and replacement, I hear that. I'm not telling you to ignore that, but you should wait till the summer for that. Because right now, I promise you 1,000%, if City battle against Brighton and you end up winning the league, you won't be, the first thing you'll think of when you win the league won't be, but we need to replace Jesus. We need to sell Timiaso. We need to add this guy in the midfield. You won't be doing that. Don't get giddy, but you guys are acting like it's a funeral. That's what I didn't like about it. Back in the day, I'll tell you, me and Terry, if we would have won one of these games and we know we're potentially could still win a league, we'd be celebrating right now. And we'd just be talking about the next game. How can we be better next game? That's what you should be doing right now. But all that future planning and Connor thinking about his summer vacations being canceled because he's going to be home depressed and crying and having a drink or two, that's when if you lose the league. Don't talk about this right now. Right now, you're doing what you're supposed to do. 100%.
Staffy cooks, man.
I like that.
Why would you say that? Did you hear this prick, bro?
I know. I did hear it. Listen,
on that point, Terry, by the way, on that point, if we lose tomorrow, I'm coming out to criticize the performance.
Listen, I want to thank all my super chatters. I want to thank everyone who's hit the like button. My panel, phenomenal tonight. Really good debate, really good challenge. I loved it. And I know we get called out a little bit at the moment on the terrace for, only nice things about Arsenal. Well, we're not an echo chamber. And if you want to come on and show your face and give opinions, you are all welcome. We are back tomorrow, fan channel review, and then match reactions in the afternoon as well. But until next time, everybody, look after yourselves, be lucky, be safe, take care, and we'll see you all again soon. Peace.